Hold up.
That sounded bad. That's my thing. I got a bunch of ticks, don't I?
I can't do it.
Yeah, you
I
do.
can't do it. I can't do that thing anymore.
Oh God! Here we go. Hey. Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast with your host Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, Matt with Wacky Works Workshop, Jen with Jen's Turns, Jamie with JP Woodwork, and Jake with Northside Custom Crafts. Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 77. Today we're going to talk about what's on your bench. And I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks. Man, I got all that backwards.
Backwards.
It almost came out a different way.
Almost came out breach.
Breach. All right, that's it, folks.
We're done. See y'all next week.
Breach.
So how's everybody doing?
Oh man, we're
good.
I'm good.
Making it happen today. Making it happen.
So Matt, why don't you talk about what's on your bench?
What's on my bench right now? Quite honestly, we've been at the jobby job, been basically recreating Mr. Jake Thompson's resin shop there to do something different, but just about basically the same exact design, L-shaped design. It's been a experience to teach people that never picked up a hammer before to build a shop inside of a room inside of a shop, and it's insulated and conditioned, and it's been a experience to say the least.
Did you show them the proper way to knock a sprinkler system head off with the hammer?
No, but I know how to do that really well, and actually say, hold this while I do this. Yeah, I know how to do that very well. But
you have to pay COVID prices as well.
Yeah, and say I don't have to pay COVID prices for this. I mean,
Lucky
it's
you.
awesome.
Lucky you.
It's like I'm doing it for like a third of the price. So yeah, we've been putting the shop up. We actually did the bottom course and everything on the inside with plywood, and then the whole top and ceiling with sheetrock, and then the whole outside is in plywood. We electrical throughout the whole entire thing. 2-stage lighting in it, so it's got 2 different areas of lighting, and that's what we've been doing at the moment. It's been taking up a bunch of our time, so it's been about, I think we're 2.5 weeks right now that we're into it. Not the 5-6 days that we did Jake's in, but we don't have time.
we had COVID organization too.
This is true.
And prices.
There you go.
What are y'all going to be doing in there?
If I tell you, you're not going to know it, but it's we're doing a permeability test, triaxial tests. Yeah,
you could have just said testing.
We're doing a bunch of tests in the soil and aggregates inside an asphalt that we'll be doing in there for third-party contractor testing.
Leave it alone, Jake. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. He's over there.
We tested dirt and dirt accessories.
Exactly. We're good at it.
Play in the mud.
Never thought I'd get paid to test dirt, but that's what I do for a living. So, what you got going over there, JP?
So I've more recently gone from hating the 3D printer to kind of liking it a lot.
Go straight to love.
Gone from liking it a lot to love. I'm kind of in the middle at the moment. So I've already combined 3D printing and wood turning once already, but I've got a couple more ideas where I'm going to combine it again. So that's one potentially two ideas I've got in the pipeline. Apart from that, I've it's been kind of an ongoing joke, to be honest with you, that I had all of my barring a couple that I gave away. I had a lot of all of my wood turnings up in the attic for many years. And then I had someone decide to offer to sell them for me. So, and I'm getting 100% of the profit. So it's kind of crazy. I never thought I'd have that hoarder mentality, but when I saw them all bagged and boxed up in the back room, I was like, I don't want to let them go. You know, obviously it's YouTube history, so I was kind of going through them, and I was like, I can't let that go, can't let that go. And there was a couple that accidentally ended up over there, like a collaboration I did with Jake, and I was like, get that back now. You know, there was a few sentimental ones I didn't want to let go. I've had a couple of videos that have popped off quite nicely over the past couple of weeks. One has hit like 100,000 views plus.
Ooh, really?
Not to brag.
Well,
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Anytime you get a chance to brag about that, go ahead.
Yeah.
Beat on the chest.
Unfortunately, it didn't hit the right audience. It hit the Google homepage. If you noticed that on your phone, it was me. But yeah, it's so I've had a couple of good videos. Not the views been up a little bit over the past couple of months. I've changed a few things up, obviously with the help of Jake and Jake's tutor.
Is what?
Jake's tutor.
Teacher.
Oh, okay.
Coach.
Yeah.
Tutor. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just been out here doing some wood turning, getting the weekly videos out at the moment.
Anything planned special for?
Well, we've obviously got Christmas coming up. So I'm going to try and I don't know how many years ago it was now. 2 years ago, I decided to do a video a day. In a way, I'm doing that again. That almost just about killed me. So I'll probably just stick and doing a few Christmas themed projects. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So yeah, I'll probably just stick to that. Just do a few Christmas themed ones and try to do some fun projects. Like I've done a plunger box and yeah, I'll try and do some fun projects.
We got Thanksgiving coming up too, right?
What we got to be thankful for? We're British.
Trees and grass. It's all pretty. History.
I mean,
History.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I couldn't help it.
I know you couldn't. Jake, what about you, bud?
So I do have a tutor, a coach. So he teaches me stuff, and I tell Jamie, and he gets 100,000 views on his video. And then my video I've worked on for the last 3 or 4 weeks has 600 views. You're welcome, Jamie. You're welcome.
He doesn't have nothing to be thankful for, Jake.
Your tutor.
Maybe one thing.
Yeah, hey, just that. So we did do the dust collection system, the build video, and I did that other one that shows you taping, like the CFM before you tape the pipe and then after. Amazing difference. I had no idea. I knew it'd be a difference, but I didn't realize, holy crap, that's a big difference. But that video did go out to... go ahead.
How long did it take you to put up that whole entire system? I mean, it looked like that was a very elaborate system.
Jackie, what was it? Jackie came over. I think she came over every day 1 week except for Friday. She was, if I work the rest of the day, she usually just comes over Thursdays and Fridays and we set up for cartoons and do stuff. But she came over every day and then she's like, I'm not coming Friday. I said, that's good. Stay away. Well, anyway, it was like, 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day. And it was, when we broke it down, I was like, today I want to have this thing built and stood up. And then I think we did that one week, probably on a Friday or something. And then we did cartoons. And then the next week she came back and we started on all the pipe and stuff. But it was a good 5 solid days of work. But we do like to talk a lot, and we're not in a hurry while we're doing it. And just as long as we got done with that, whatever we set to get done that day, that was fine. We went and got some coffee, and we would take breaks and hang out and stuff. And it was more of a hangout hour than it was like trying to get it built fast, because I really didn't care about that. We just needed to get it done and get it done safely. And it is a huge huge deal. The whole time I'm like, man, I was jealous of the guys with 1-car garages.
I got 20
Everything
foot
so
gun.
a big shop's a lot of fun until you got to heat it and cool it and then the stuff like that. Just a little bit of, I had to move the table saw, so the cord I had for the table saw and the router table were both too short now. So now you need a 50-foot cord, and you got to buy the good cord, and the one of them's 220. So I needed to build that cord, so I had to buy that cable and the ends, and got all that. And then the CNC machine needed the same thing, and I also needed a 110 cord. So I bought 2 110 cords. I bought the 220 cord, and I had a 50-foot welding cable already. So just to plug everything in afterwards, and then the hardware to get it plugged into the wall, was $300. I was out $300 before I even just to start it. So that was, you're working 12 feet in there, 12 to 14 feet in the air. You're moving ladders around. You got to make it look neat and everything. So it wasn't like, hey, just plug this thing in. It was, every part of it was something special.
Good on your calves and your
that's a nice dust collection system though. It came out really nice.
Thank you. It is amazing. And at the end of it, I'm like, is the Nordfab pipe that expensive?
After all that taping and silicone, and for all the people that are wondering, go to Northside Custom Crafts and check out that video. That is a very good video on dust collection. A lot of helpful information on there.
Well, thank you. It was it's something. And then, so what's on the bench was that's been on the bench for the last 3 weeks. And then getting the video done, and the thumbnail, we missed on something. And also the trend on YouTube is like not doing good right at first, and then after a few days it'll pick up. So I'm hoping that's the thing. If not, I'm going to be changing thumbnails and titles and stuff like that. I did get another 3D printer to have them on sale for Black Friday. So I got a P1S, and so that I can do those fun cups, the funnel cups. Jamie called them fun cups. They're not fun cups. They're man cups.
They're man cups. They're man.
They always seem to drop a syllable over there or something,
Funny cups. So I need to get those designed, and I've been printing honeycomb today. I want to make some knife scale molds, but before I do all of that, I need to learn plasticity, 3D stuff, and all that's going to take is a day to where I don't have anything else to do.
Oh, those are like every day, right?
I totally don't have anything to do. Today is stabilizing pine cones right now. The vacuum chamber's out there running right now. Turntex. So the next thing on that thing is I did go to SWAT, and I learned how to die stabilize from the people that are the absolute experts on it. So that'll be like in a few weeks. I got the colors, I got the cactus juice, I have everything ready to do it. I had Worldwide Burl send me the right size stuff and the right kind of stuff so that it would soak in good, and I have all that dried and ready. I just need, once again, a minute to do it. And then I have a new pressure pot. It's 2.5 gallon flavored one. And so I'm going to do an unboxing on that. And then
What
the
flavor
guy I
is it?
gave my Harbor Freight to
Whoa,
is bringing it.
What
What's
do you mean?
flavored?
What's flavored?
That's a different. That's a British for size. It's
Oh.
metric.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought he
it's
was over licking it.
yeah.
2.5 gallon. If it has a window on it, I'll lick it.
Yeah. Strawberries.
So anyway, 2.5 gallon pressure pot I got given to me by Turner's Warehouse. So I'm going to do a video on that,
Nice.
unbox it, and just show how it is, what the features are and stuff. And then I'm going to get my Harbor Freight pressure pot back from the guy that I gave it to. I'm going to borrow it back so I can do another video just comparing the two and compare the cost and compare the time you have in converting one rather than just opening one up and doing it, and see what the real cost is
There you
and
go.
see which one I prefer after that and do a video on that. And then I'm going to sit down. Just
Yeah,
stop
you're
for a
not
second.
busy. You're not busy.
Yeah.
And that was just a
What are
Wednesday.
you gonna do after lunch?
That was this one.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
What you
And
got
obviously
going
we've
on?
got obviously we've got Saturday morning cartoons. Well, on Saturdays, and coming up real fast is the Make a Wish.
Yeah.
We've got that coming up real quick, so
When
probably
is that
going to
gonna
be
start? When do you have that forecast start?
Right after Christmas. Whatever the next weekend is after Christmas, we're going to start doing auctions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'm going to auction is off that orange bowl, that one that had the big burl on the bottom and it has like the flames all the way around it. I think that's what we're going to auction.
Mm.
I might put it back on the lathe. Look, Jackie's out there. I might put it back on the lathe and sand it down and refinish it and make it perfect. Because I just did that just for a video, so I can refinish it, and then that'll be what we're gonna
Sell
do for
tickets
Make a
on?
Wish.
Is that
Yeah.
the one you're going to sell tickets on? Man, that's
Yeah.
going to be sweet.
It's
nice.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is cool. So that thing. So I guess the other thing was we did the Turner's Warehouse and Easywood Tools turning thing. I was one of 4 turners on there, and that was super cool. They raised a bunch of money for St. Jude's, and the thing that everybody make, we send it to them, and they're going to auction them all off. And they're, I think the 15th is the last is the cutoff for putting your ornaments in. So they're going to put every one of them on eBay and auction and sell them all and
There
give
you
all
go.
the money to St.
Nice.
Jude. So that's pretty cool. But that was super cool. There's 4 of us, and I've only turned once on a live show before. I've done it in person at shows and stuff, but never like on live. And the challenge with that is the cameras and your microphone and how do you have everything. And it's not the turning that you're worried about. You know, it's everything else. And then you start turning, and then you're like, you was never worried about the turning it. And then here
then
comes
you're like-
mistakes. Yeah. So anyway, everything turned out well, and hopefully there'd be some people bid on it and give some money to charity. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For the children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What you got going on over there, Joey?
Not a whole lot. Next.
Wow. Really? Thank God we went to you.
I should have went first. At the beginning of the year, I started off. I extended the office here, and that was a pretty good build. And to be honest, it kind of burned me out doing that. That was for a competition. Make What You Fear. We've had Keith on here from Working's End podcast before, and that was a little competition that they put on at the beginning of the year, every year, and I entered that to see if I could finish this. And it's 3 months. You had 3 months to finish it, whatever you decided to make. And I kind of bit off more than I could chew, but I got it done. And that's kind of like why I did it, because I knew if I started, then I start procrastinating.
Yeah.
And stuff wouldn't get done. And it has to, when you start tearing into this stuff, I had to tear down the shop completely. CNC had to get moved. It was a complete mess in there, and it's still a complete mess. I've cleaned it up some. I finally moved the CNC back to its final position. I need to get it wired up, and at the same time trying to finish up in here. Still haven't put the laser back in service. I eventually need to do that. but this side of the office over here isn't done. And, I need to work on that. But little steps, baby steps on that.
Do you do like I do, and the stuff that's just off of camera is all destroyed and
Oh yeah,
unorganized and just trashed?
I had to adjust the camera because I had to remove this desk this past weekend because we had to replace the AC that's right above here. And when I came into StreamYard, man, it was facing all that mess over here that's off that way. It's just stuff everywhere. The old desk that this computer was actually sitting on is over there, and it's being held up by 2x4s, just so you know. So I got to finish tearing that down, and I don't know what I'm going to end up doing as far as how I'm going to position the cabinets. There's some cabinets up here that got to get taken down, but I'm trying not to lose all my storage in here for right now because I don't want to end up putting it out in the shop because I need to get some of that shop cleaned up. So it's just trying to juggle everything. The 3D printer cabinet, I don't know if it's going to sit where it is or move it. I thought about moving it over here where this computer's at and putting that computer over here because it'll be right in line with the CNC. So I'm still kind of playing with it to see what I'm going to do. Kind of living it a little bit before I decide where I'm going to move everything final, its final resting place.
Yeah.
But I don't know yet. That's going to just take a little more time. Out in the shop, I've, just get stuff organized again and get things pulled out and probably get rid of some things. Once I built this piece, I don't need as much of the tables, as many as the tables that I have. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, where I'm going to put the lathe, because I decided not to close the door that we had talked about shutting in. And that's where that lathe was going to go. So I'm still kind of just trying to figure out where I'm going to move things. That way I can pull my table saws back out and kind of arrange anything. What I did do is I did start ordering little what do you call it? Getting everything mobile, the little carts that go underneath the tools.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier instead of trying to lug some of that bigger equipment around. So I just got some of that stuff in. So I got one for the bandsaw. I would love to put that lathe on one, but I don't think that's a smart move to put that big lathe on one.
No. I mean, you can
No,
follow
go
it
ahead
around the
and do
shop as it's spinning.
Hey, make sure the camera's on.
Get a really long cord and just follow it around the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a thought. And then I said, that's a bad thought because
It is.
I can just see putting an unbalanced whatever on it and that thing just flipping right over.
Just
Be like,
got your finger.
what happened? I think I got a spot for it. It's going to be like kind of right across from the lathe. And I think it's going to be probably it's where it's going to go because I can put that dust collector back up and I can pipe a hood to it. So I'm still trying to make up my mind what I'm going to do with it. Kind of like in the same spot, Matt, because I know your mind's working. I can see you thinking over there, but just not against the wall. And shuffle around some of those workbenches that I have, and then try to figure out where I'm going to put the new equipment, where it's going to live, and figure out some of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just I haven't had a whole lot of time to do a lot of things lately because the regular job, so little by little I'll get it figured out and get things moved around where they need to be so I can start using some of that stuff. Try it out.
So you mentioned your CNC. I got my CNC up this year, built a new table for it. I sold my old one and gave away basically everything that was extra I had with it, VFD, spindle, whole 9 yards. And then I built my new table and then slowly assembled. I kept tearing, but I'd build up my table or my CNC, then I tear it back down, build it back up because I just didn't like the way I had it. You know, with the Onefinity, you can modify it however you really want to, and I just didn't like it the way I kept on having it, so I kept on tearing it down, building it back up. But I got it now exactly how I want it, and so that was good.
Yeah, that thing went to the wall. It was on a table, then it went on to the side of a wall, and then I think it went into
the
an
window.
angle, to the window,
to the wall.
Stop there.
Man, you had that thing in every different position you can imagine.
It's made to be able to moved around the way I want. You know, like Pat Lapp just put his on the wall. I don't know if you saw the videos of his. He's got his on the wall, but he put it on the wall the way they want it put on the wall. I was trying to do it a different way, so I could load wood into it easier. But it's just different ways. In the CNC table that I designed for it works really well. In fact, there's somebody building it right now. One of my designs for it, and he says it's a great design. Its ridges all get out, and it's not going to move. But I mean, I build them stout.
That ain't going anywhere.
Ain't going anywhere. He had to put wheels on it just so he can move it around. So I got the CNC done, and then I built a shroud that goes from the Harbor Freight, the way that we modified the Harbor Freights, and made it go straight into a filter system. I didn't like the way that they had a shroud, and then you had to put something on top of it and make it go down, and it reduced some of the airflow. And so I made the airflow coming out of it bigger so that it would increase the airflow for the Harbor Freight. And so I got that done. That was pretty much it with the CNC so far. I haven't got to play with it much because I haven't been here. But what I did do is we had somebody get hired at my office. His name's Chad Bentley is his name. You can find him on Instagram. He's a real good turner. But he said that he's kind of burnt out on turning and said, "Hey, you want some bowl blanks?" I was like, "Well, sure." I just thought one or two bowl blanks would come over, and he says, "Hey, I need your help." He took me out. His truck was heaping full of bowl blanks. I mean, like heaping.
Nice.
Burl, cherry, maple, sapele. I mean, he had all sorts of stuff that was out there. So I spent the last weekend just sitting there cutting bowl blanks. That's all I did. So that was one of the things. And then with Jake, I got another vacuum pot. So I had one vacuum pot, and I thought, I ain't getting enough vacuumed. There's just not enough. So I got another one and put it together, and I started to shoot a video on that. So got another vacuum pot, another vacuum as well. So that was another thing I got here recently. And then the other thing I did here recently was the charity. I did a charity event that I gave them 4 cutting boards, 3 bowls, and my wife turned 4 pens for them. And we auctioned that off for charity. That was pretty cool. It was the first time we really being a part of an event, and so that was really nice.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah, it is. It really is. It makes you feel good. So,
You put a new dust collector into your shop too this year, didn't you? Was it this year or was it last year?
Last year. That was last year. Yeah, I put the clear view in mine. Yeah.
I kind of did. I opened a window.
There you go. Just went.
Yeah, get a compressor and just aim it that way.
There you go. Blow it out of there.
You was talking of making stuff mobile. I eventually decided to open up that laser that I've had sitting for nearly 2 years, get it out of the box, and then give it away. So it's very mobile.
Just move it on out.
Did you even try it once?
Oh yeah, we got it working.
Did you catch something on fire?
No, we done. I think there was three items that was built on the SD card. So it was the longer logo. I think there was a compass, and there was something else. I can't remember what else was on there. So we made sure it worked. But it's the lady that's selling all my stuff for me. She does a lot of lasers work. She's got a X tool, something I can't remember what X tool it is. something Pro series she's got. And this is just the X-Tool one she's got has got the rotisserie on it.
Mm-hmm.
So she because I obviously turn stuff for her to sell, so she's going to engrave vases and stuff like that, and that's going to be used for doing other stuff as well. So it's going to double her workflow. So it gives her opportunities to sell more stuff as well.
Yeah.
He said rotisserie. I was like,
Yeah.
chicken.
Sorry, rotary. Sorry,
Yeah,
rotary.
there you go. It's okay.
Chicken on that thing.
We all
I
got
do like-
hungry, but it's okay.
I do like some chicken.
You cooking some fish and chips on it?
Uh-huh.
There you go, fish and chips on a rotisserie.
So what's coming up? So what do y'all have coming up, Matt? What are you looking at to do? What's the next big project that you want to do?
I just started a built-in linen closet. It's a 96 by 55. I'm putting that in right now. The whole front frame of it's in ash, 5/4 ash, and then the doors are also 5/4 ash as well with panels. Just doing panel doors for them.
Thing up?
Huh?
Are you gonna want to pick that thing up?
It's a built-in.
Oh, it's a built-in. Oh,
Yeah, it's 100% built-in. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. If I'm building something that heavy, it's staying
All up in there.
That's a safe room in there.
I ain't got enough friends I don't like not to come over and help me move that thing. So, no, I'm doing a built-in. That I'm finishing up a 5 foot by 28 inch, I think it is, coffee table. I started pouring it this year. I did the resin casting this year with the burl. It's got 3 big pieces of burl in it, and a river kind of going through the whole entire thing like they're islands. And then I did it all in clear, so you can see the color and you can see the burl. I really wanted to see the burl in it. Not
Is
just
Brandy
necessarily
finally getting her coffee table?
Not it might come by the end of the year. Depends on how much time I get in the shop. I got the legs are all turned. The top is done. Just got to have a clear coat on top of it, and then I got to build a bottom. It's going to be like a 2-layer, so it's top and then one for where the baskets go, I guess, and then it'll have small feet on the bottom of that. And that's all I got left to do. So, I mean, it could get done.
Huh.
But I'm not saying it will. I said it could.
I
Could.
wasn't saying a lot of confidence.
Yeah, could.
So that's the 2 major projects that I'm working on right now. Hopefully to be able to get some of those done by this year. So.
Well, I don't have really a whole lot that I've got planned other than trying to get in the shop straightened out and trying out the new machines that I got in. Try to fix the cord on the one that got chopped up during shipping. So yeah, I mean, just trying to get some stuff organized out there and get it back to where I can start at least making some stuff. I do want to make a cabinet for when we had Malcolm. He had a good idea with that 3D filament cabinet. I really like that idea with the humidifier in it to get all that filament in there. Make some dehumidifier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah. But anyhow,
Like a hot water heater. It's like a hot water heater, huh?
Hey, now, come on. Don't be throwing out my keywords here. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
It's a water heater. 3, 4, 5.
So-
Come on, dude.
Yeah, you know you can do with your 3, 4, 5. Anyhow, I want to make a cabinet. I would like to try to make one of those to put all my filament in. That was a great idea.
Don't you already have a cabinet?
Yes, I have a cabinet, but it's got 3D printers in it.
Yeah. You don't use them. You use the bamboo. That's what you're using now, correct?
Yes,
Okay. That's what I thought. You got room, baby.
but they're full.
Ah.
Yeah. No, but I wanted.
Love you, Joey.
wanna-
Love you, Joey.
Yeah. There's no foul language on here, and you're trying to make me use foul language.
What?
Yeah.
Not mean.
Anyhow, I want to try to make one of those cabinets. That was a real good idea to do that,
Yeah.
to store that up and keep it dry.
It's
So
good
that's
looking
probably,
too.
yeah,
Mhm.
he did a really
Mhm.
good job on that thing. That was really, really nice.
Yeah.
So that's that, and then try to finish this office and get it back to where I can use it again. Maybe get my leather sewing machine back in here. So I know my boy, he likes to mess around with that. So maybe try to get that set back up to where he can start messing with that again and make some knife scabbards and stuff like that. Got a bunch of leather over there that's not being used, so he likes to mess around with it. So that was part of the whole thing, is trying to get that thing back in here, so he can start using it again. Because that is fun. It really is cool to work with that stuff and make things. So hopefully we can get to that point at some time, and just get this thing cleaned back up, because it's a freaking mess in here. And maybe get the laser plugged in. Maybe get that laser plugged back in so we can do some laser beaming again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you,
So
Jamie?
I've got a woodworking show that's coming up in a little over a week. So who knows what tools I might come back with from there. Apart from that, there's a couple of projects I've been meaning to make for quite a while, to be honest. And I was just before the show, I was going through one of my little scrapbooks of ideas that I came about, where I was drawing about, and one of them came from a project Jackman Works done a while ago, where he made a disc sander that connected to the end of his lathe. So I was going to plan on doing one for this one, because the tail stock kind of swings out of the way. So I was planning on I think I was going to do like a 12 or a 14-inch disc sander to go on the end of the lathe. So that was one of them. And depending on whether they've got any at the woodworking show, I'm thinking of making a steady rest for this lathe as well, because it's quite difficult to get stuff for this one, because it's got a 2-foot swing over the bed. So it might have to be one that's going to have to be made. So,
What
but I think
when you
it's
say
Simon Hope.
when
Go
you
on.
say steady rest, is that like not off the banjo, like something that's mounted on the floor? Is that what
Yeah,
that
so
means?
it's stuff that's mounted between centers, but let's say it's really, really long.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
And
Okay.
it's kind of like made out of skateboard wheels, coming in
Right.
4
I got you.
directions. So, it's stuff isn't really readily available for stuff of this sort of size lathe. And if it is, it's quite expensive. It's should have thought about that when they offered to give me this lathe. But there you go. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going at the moment. And once I've got them, then I can progress on to much bigger, better projects. I've actually got a piece of wood over there that's 2 foot in. Actually, it needs cutting down. It's 26 inches by 24 inches by about 16 inches deep, and that's going to be one bowl. But I need to cut off 2 inches off of the end, so that's going to be a big old lump going to be on the lathe as well.
What if you need those last two?
It won't go over the bed.
Oh, okay.
And I can't move it all the way down to the bottom of the bottom. I mean, I've got the extension and all that kind of stuff, but the problem is the lathe is only 2 foot away from the wall.
Yeah, you better take those 2 inches off, buddy.
2 inches is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot.
Can you, Jake? Are you able to turn outboard on that thing?
No, you can't. No, you can just move the headstock down to the other end. and then it's just got a lower bed that you can screw onto the lathe.
For the banjo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
What you
What
got?
about you, Jake? What you
Yeah,
got coming
so me and Jackie are gonna. I did rearrange some stuff when I was doing this dust collection thing, and I moved the CNC machine like I was talking about. But there's some other stuff like we put in some shelves on this other side, and we're gonna put all the wood over there, and even like the burls and all the stuff. Like there's old scrap cutting board wood that's all like we put a bunch of that stuff over there already. But there's just a couple of things that you look at it and you go, I want to rearrange that, and then you just look at it and go, well, how? I like it. So there's a couple of things to figure out, and it always ends up as soon as you just start moving something, and instead of just looking at it, because that's probably half of the problem is just procrastinating. But I was going to do that. We were going to start doing that tomorrow, but Jackie called in already, so. You know.
She already called in sick.
Well, she gets employee of the month every month anyway. So there's no penalty really. Anyway, she's taking my mom to lunch. So I hope my mom knows that. Or she's probably gonna know now. Sorry, Jackie.
Spoiler.
But anyway, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get this thing nice and cleaned up, and then I'm gonna film a shop tour and do it for 2025 and get it out early. That way I'll have one of the first ones for 2025 out, and hopefully it'll do good. Hush. I need to say, am I going to start recycling my cups? No. No. That's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. I give everybody something to complain about.
But
so me and Jackie are going to do that. And then all the stuff that I talked about, the making the cups and doing plasticity and these other videos I'm talking about, that's like real quick stuff. It's really not that big a deal. It just sounds like a lot, but my house is pretty neglected. It's 100-year-old house, and it needs painted, and I put a heat and air in it last year, which super nice. But there's like some tidying up and painting the house and stuff like that I need to concentrate on the next few months, just to otherwise it never gets done because I'm out here and I don't see it.
Yep.
Every time I drive up, I'm like, dang, I need to paint that thing. So there's a bunch of stuff like that needs to happen that's not shop related and won't be videos or anything like that, but behind the scenes, that's just stuff that you just have to do.
Yeah, I actually did a project I forgot about. That was the handrail across the front of the porch. I didn't have a handrail. It's the porch is like 18 inches off the ground, and I can just step off from it. It's not a big deal. But my wife, she's 5'2", she needs steps. So we put up a handrail, and I used and a coffee table, and we used in between the columns. I used 2x6 on top, but then I used rebar for the pickets. Basically, instead of going vertical, they're horizontal, and so that turned out really well. It kind of and I painted them black, and so they actually look good.
Why
do they call it rebar? Do you do it twice? Well, they just call it bar.
Steel. Reinforcing steel. I don't know.
Do you bar it and then you rebar it?
You sure it's color black?
Yes, I'm positive it's black because I can see black. But they were actually we used fiberglass rebar is what we used, and then sanded it all and then painted them all. So they were actually, I think, pink to begin with.
Oh,
how do you know?
I don't. Whatever my wife told me, she told me they were pink, so they were pink. And then we sanded them, and then primed them and painted them black. And so to make them look with like the fence, all the fence around the area is black, so it kind of tied in all together with that as well. So it turned out really nice. I didn't think it was gonna, but We saw it on Pinterest, so it had to happen. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will say that I did use some stuff that I have been procrastinating for a long time, which is that Bow Shield T9 stuff.
Mm.
That is good, but it is stinky.
Mm.
Real stinky. But it works. I've had that thing sitting there and it has not turned. We've had some real bad humidity, and that thing, since I applied it, I haven't used that joiner, but just, you don't have to, just sitting there. You can see that tarnish coming back, just because that's what I like to do with my equipment. Just let it sit there and without using it, and yeah, I'm trying to give y'all something, but y'all just ain't taking it. But anyhow, it's been sitting there for a little while, and it's held that same stuff. That stuff works good. That rust remover is impressive, man. It brightened that thing up. The camera did not do it justice, but I was like, there's no way this stuff is gonna clean this, because I let that thing go pretty bad, and it impressed the hell out of me. That thing was good. I mean, it moved that stuff off, and then once you apply that finish on it, or the actual aerosol, the protectant, wow, that stuff's good. It's really good. I don't have nothing to compare it to, but they hit me up and send it out to me, and it's good stuff.
The smell can't be understated, though, right? It's horrible.
Oh, that smell! I would tell you that it's probably you need to wear a respirator probably when you're applying that stuff, because it is. Yeah, they're not taking it, Mark. It gets really bad and it lingers around. So if you do use it, protect yourself. But that stuff works very good. I mean, only thing I'll tell you is when you apply that rust remover, you need to work with it quick, because if not, it'll set up on you and it'll dry on there and you're not getting it off. The only way I learned the hard way, but I got it off by applying more rust remover, and then it came off. But don't sit
rust remover.
Yeah, rust remover.
That's
but
right.
I freaked out because it turned that thing white, just completely white. I let it sit there, and it wasn't very long, like maybe a couple of minutes. And when I went back to take it off, it would not come off. And I even got some lacquer thinner, not even the other stuff. What do you use, Jake? I always forget that.
Denatured alcohol, Bobby.
Denatured alcohol. And it would not budge it. I mean, that stuff just laughed at it, and it was like, oh man, I just messed this up. And I added some more. I said, well, what can happen? What's worse? It can turn whiter. But once I put some more remover on the remover, it loosened up and it came right off. And then, it cleaned it up. Very nice. Very, very nice. I got some, I think it was 1000 grit. And as I put it on there, I kind of just hit it a little bit, and then I wiped it right off, and it was nice.
I've been doing that to that 1960 table saw that I had, that I have out there right now that I'm restoring. And it originally, where we pulled it out of, was just a barn, a dirt floor barn. And luckily it was sitting on a pallet, but that didn't stop the top from rusting like it did. So I got it back here, and I thought it was going to be pitted real bad. So I hit it with 600 grit, just hand, hit it real quick, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I sprayed that rust remover on there, and used a scouring pad with it, and just went over top of it, and it cleaned it up. And it looks really good for being as bad as it was. It probably could work on rebar, but they were fiberglass, so probably not that rebar. So
they're not metal.
No, they're fiberglass.
So are they rebar?
It's a reinforcing bar.
He had that disappointed look on his face, like, Jake. Stop it.
Leave me alone. I'm gonna go home.
No. But no, I mean that stuff worked really well on it. It shined up a lot better than I thought it would, and it's keeping its shine, which I was kind of surprised. So it works really well, but it does stink.
Yeah,
Got a little funk to it.
it kind of burns a little bit too. It lingers a while. It's worse than lacquer thinner.
Mm-hmm.
Way worse. You could smell that stuff like it's not like it's killing you. A little
hurt.
Bit.
It's doing damage.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Don't.
I did it years and years ago. I was working out of the old shop, and I had some water leaks, and it leaked right on top of one of the bandsaws. So I looked it up and I bought it, and it worked. It cleaned it up, but I just remember thinking, next time I'm just going to leave the rust on there. That smell is horrible. It's bad.
This makes me want to fix the leak.
You get in there and get out. Get in and get out. Don't mess around with breathing that stuff, because it's horrible.
But it works real good. That's the joiner my brother-in-law decided to put a can of adult beverage on one Christmas, and I about wanted to murder him after he did that. He knows he didn't know any better, you know. I had a few choice words.
That's literally why I made coasters for my shop.
Of all the places, it's like it attracts people. Of all the places they could put anything on in that shop, there's tables there. They decide to go right to that cast iron top.
I have that big, wooden built-in I did for my table saw, and just that table saw is the only place that steel is. Everything else is wood, and it's like the drink will end up being on top of my table saw. I'm like, for real?
Yeah, but it almost took it off. It actually brought it like it brings stuff. It's bringing stuff out of that cast iron. It's weird how it works, but it works real good. I did some stuff without sanding, and it wipes it off. But when you do a little bit of sanding, they tell you to use what do you call them? Like an SOS? Not SOS.
Scotch-Brite.
Scotch-Brite.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't have no Scotch-Brite, and if I did, I didn't know where it was. So I found the 1000 grit, and just a real light sanding by hand. Man, that stuff, it does wonders. I was real impressed with it. Real impressed. And then when you put the finish on there, it's so slick, then it actually is like a lubricant. Once it dries up and sets up, it's real slick. So I highly suggest you use it. Try it. It's good.
There you go.
There you go.
So any upcoming other upcoming things that are going to come out? Anybody?
I got some wood links that I'm casting. So those will be coming out pretty soon. Got those in the oven. I'm stabilizing right now. So that's about all I got coming up. What about you, Jamie?
I did a video on my Patreon, and I posted the results on my Instagram for everyone to see. And a company called, I don't know if you've heard of them, Joe Sonia Paints. Well, the owner of that company saw the video, and she really liked it, and she had sent me stuff in the past. And she's like, I really like that, and so I offered to make her one. And she was like, well, what's your address? I said, I don't want to make you this and think that's why I'm doing it. I don't send me stuff and all that kind of deal. So my next video is making a wall hanging wall art piece for the people at Joe Sonia's using their pearlescent range. So yeah,
he said, "Oh no, don't give me all your colors."
I already got them. That's the thing.
Well, you can always take more. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but I didn't want them thinking that was the reason why I offered to make her a gift.
But
do you know what I mean?
But it
was.
They asked you though, right?
Yeah, they contacted me, yeah, and just said how nice it was, and I said to her, "You're going to be at the Harrogate show again," and it'd be nice to catch up and all that good stuff. And I said, like, what's your favourite colours from your range? And they said, and I was like, well, all right, I'll make you a gift. And then she's like, what's your address? And I was like, don't think that I'm doing it for anything like that. And I didn't give her my address, so she must have forgotten it in the start because nothing's ever come through. So
Favorite colors, no con blue.
No gone blue.
yeah. This is from the pearlescent range. I think I used like greeny blue and a purple red. I think something like that, and some
Brown.
gold.
Brown.
And some good.
Brown, and brown.
Yeah. Well, and then a blue.
Yeah.
I have a little story.
What you got?
Someone got on the contact form and was like, hey man, when are you gonna get your hybrid bottle stopper blanks back in stock? And I said, you know what, just for you, I'll do them. I'll pour some today and get them cut and get them back in inventory, and I'll let you know when they're done. So I poured 32 bottle stopper blanks today, and then got them cut, got them in inventory. I sent the guy an email. I gave him a coupon code, a one-time use coupon code, and he bought the ones that were already in stock that I didn't have to pour. So
There you go.
I don't know what lessons in there. There's something I don't know. I got the order and I'm like, cool, man. This guy bought some stuff. He bought not one that I poured today. It was stuff that was already in stock. So he could have just ordered it. But I appreciate the order, and the hybrid bottle stopper blanks are in stock now.
There you go.
There you go. Now we know what's on Jake's bench. Brand new blanks, ready to buy.
Yeah, go ahead and buy. Buy them.
For me, I'll be. Oh yeah. For me, I'll be headed up to Texas Woodworking Festival this weekend. First time to go try it out. Go see what it's all about. So, yeah, ought to be fun. Go check out all the new tools. Maybe they have some stuff we can bring to the shop.
Well, speaking of that shop that you're going to, the event you're going to there, I think our next week's guest is going to be on there too, isn't he? Isn't he going to that event? BJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Mr. Stair's going to be there. Mr.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that
Mark Thill.
Mark's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people that are going. They started mentioning that they're going to be up there. So we'll get to meet them and, yeah, it ought to be fun. Check it out.
Nice.
But anyhow, I guess that's going to do it for us tonight.
There you go.
Already talked about everything we have. So next week, Matt, who's on the show?
BJ
I'm just
Harrison. Oh. Go ahead.
No, anyhow, thanks everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Next week, we got BJ Harrison on the show. Same time, same place, same beautiful faces. And we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.